My name is Evelyn, and I'm 68 years old. Until last Christmas, I thought my son Derek loved me. I was wrong. Mom, you're in the wrong seat, Derek said, as I settled into my usual chair at the head of the dining table. I looked up, confused. Honey, I always sit here. Your father and I— Dad's been gone 3 years, he interrupted. Vanessa's father is our guest of honor tonight. My daughter-in-law Vanessa stood in the kitchen doorway, arms crossed. Her father Robert sat on the couch, smirking. Derek, this is my house, I said quietly. I think— He grabbed my arm and pulled me up. Mom, don't make this difficult. Just move to the other end. Derek! My daughter Beth jumped up from her seat. What are you doing? Stay out of this, Beth, Vanessa snapped. Your mother needs to learn that things have changed. I felt tears stinging my eyes. Changed how? You're getting older, Evelyn, Robert said from the couch. Maybe it's time you let the younger generation take charge. Derek physically turned me toward the far end of the table. Dad would want you to be gracious, Mom. That's when something clicked. This wasn't about a chair. You're absolutely right, I said, my voice steady. Your father would want me to be gracious. I'll sit wherever you'd like. Beth stared at me. Mom, you don't have to. It's fine, sweetheart. I moved to the far end of the table, my mind racing. Throughout dinner, I watched them. Derek kept glancing at Robert for approval. Vanessa touched her father's arm possessively. Robert held court like he owned the place. Evelyn, Derek tells me you're thinking about updating your estate planning, Robert said, cutting into his prime rib. I hadn't mentioned any such thing. Oh? Well, you're not getting any younger, Vanessa said sweetly. We just want to make sure everything's in order. For your protection. My protection, I repeated. Mom's fine, Beth said sharply. She runs 3 book clubs and volunteers at the hospital twice a week. That's wonderful, dear, Robert said, dismissing Beth entirely. But financial management at her age can be overwhelming. The lake house alone must be a burden. My lake house, the property my husband Thomas bought for our 30th anniversary, worth over $2 million now. Derek has been so stressed about it, Vanessa added. We've been helping you with the maintenance, and honestly, it would be easier if— If what? I asked. Derek wouldn't meet my eyes. If we handled things for you, Mom, took some of that responsibility off your shoulders. I see. I took a sip of wine. That's very thoughtful. After dinner, I excused myself to use the bathroom. As I walked down the hall, I heard voices from Derek's study. She's being stubborn about the power of attorney, Vanessa hissed. Give it time, Robert replied. The doctor's letter will help. Once we establish diminished capacity. I froze. Dad, I don't know about this, Derek said weakly. She seemed really sharp tonight. Your mother humiliated Vanessa by not immediately giving up that chair, Robert said coldly. She's unreasonable and getting worse. The geriatric psychiatrist I found will evaluate her next month. He owes me a favor. My hands shook as I quietly backed away. The next morning, I called my lawyer. Patricia, I need to see you immediately, I said. Evelyn, what's wrong? Patricia Reynolds had been handling my affairs since Thomas died. I think my son is trying to steal from me. 2 hours later, I sat in Patricia's office. She listened intently as I explained everything. Do you have any proof? She asked. Not yet, but I will. Evelyn, these are serious allegations. If Derek is planning to declare you incompetent, he is. I heard them. I leaned forward. Patricia, I'm 68, not senile. I need to protect myself. She nodded slowly. Okay, first, we get you a complete medical evaluation from an independent doctor. Document your mental acuity. Second, we find out exactly what they're planning. How? Do they have keys to your house? Of course. Derek has had keys since college. Patricia pulled out her phone. I have a friend who specializes in surveillance. Nothing illegal, but if they're entering your home and going through your documents, we should know about it. That week, I became a detective. I agreed to a weekend trip with Beth, making sure Derek knew the house would be empty. Have fun, Mom, he said when I called to tell him. Don't worry about anything here. Patricia's investigator, David, installed cameras throughout my home office, hidden, completely legal on my own property. We returned Sunday night. Monday morning, Patricia called. "You need to see this," she said. In her office, I watched footage of Derek and Robert going through my filing cabinets. They photographed financial documents, my will, investment statements. "They're building a case," Patricia said grimly. "Look at this." She showed me screenshots they'd taken of my checkbook. Perfectly normal transactions, but they'd highlighted a few. "I bought gifts for Beth's kids," I said, pointing at the screen. "And that one was a donation to the hospital." "They're going to claim erratic spending," Patricia explained. "Combine that with a paid medical opinion, and they could make a case for guardianship. They'd control everything." Rage burned in my chest. What do we do? We get ahead of it. Dr. Sarah Mitchell is one of the best geriatric specialists in the state. I'll have her evaluate you this week. We'll document everything: your mental state, your financial competence, your independence. I met with Dr. Mitchell 3 days later. She put me through extensive testing. "Mrs. Harrison, your cognitive function is excellent," she said, smiling. "Better than many people half your age. I'll prepare a comprehensive report." "Thank you," I said, relief washing over me. Back at Patricia's office, we strategized. "I've also been digging into Robert's background," Patricia said. "He's done this before, twice. Convinced elderly relatives to sign over property, then isolated them from other family." "He targeted me," I whispered. "He targeted your assets, and he's using Derek to do it." Patricia's expression hardened. "But we're going to stop him." "How?" "We set a trap. You play along, seem confused and worried. Agree to meet with their doctor. Meanwhile, I'm filing paperwork with the court preemptively. Your own competency determination, your own guardianship designation, choosing Beth as your healthcare proxy and backup executor. We'll cut them off at the knees." I smiled for the first time in days. "When?" "We need more evidence. Can you wear a recording device?" "Absolutely." The next Sunday, Derek invited me to brunch. I wore the tiny recorder Patricia provided. "Mom, we need to talk about your future," Derek began. Vanessa squeezed his hand. "We're worried about you living alone." "I manage fine," I said carefully. "Do you?" Robert appeared behind me. "Derek told me you forgot to pay your electric bill last month." I had never missed a bill in my life. "I don't recall that." "See?" Robert said triumphantly. "That's exactly what we mean. Memory issues." I let my voice shake. "I think I have been forgetting things." Derek's eyes lit up. "Mom, it's okay. We'll help you. We've already talked to a wonderful doctor." "I'm scared," I whispered, hating myself for the performance. "Don't be," Vanessa purred. "We'll take care of everything. You just need to sign a few papers." 2 weeks later, I invited everyone to my house for a family meeting. Derek looked nervous as they arrived. "Mom, what's this about?" "I've made some decisions," I said calmly. "Please, everyone sit." Patricia walked in from the kitchen. Derek went pale. "Why is your lawyer here?" "Because this is a legal matter." I opened a folder on the coffee table. "I've become aware of some concerning activities." Robert stood up. "Evelyn, if this is about estate planning—" "Sit down, Robert." He sat. I pulled out photographs. "These are from my home security system. You and Derek going through my private files without permission." "Mom, we were just—" Derek stammered. "Building a false case that I'm mentally unfit?" I pressed play on my laptop. Their voices filled the room. Christmas night. Robert talking about diminished capacity. Vanessa complaining. Derek's weak protests. Then the brunch recording. Their lies about missed bills. "There is no missed electric bill," I said quietly. "I've never forgotten a payment in my life." Beth was crying. "Derek, how could you?" We weren't trying to steal, Vanessa screamed. My assets, I corrected, that my husband and I built together. Patricia stood. This is a comprehensive psychiatric evaluation from Dr. Sarah Mitchell. It confirms Evelyn has full mental capacity and is completely capable of managing her own affairs. We're her family, Derek shouted. You physically shoved me at Christmas, I said. You humiliated me in my own home. And for what? Money? Patricia continued. We're filing restraining orders against Robert and Vanessa. Derek, you're being removed from Evelyn's will. Beth will serve as healthcare proxy and executor. You can't do this, Vanessa shrieked. I already have, I said. 3 months later, Derek and Vanessa sat across from me in Patricia's conference room. They'd begged for this meeting. Thank you for seeing us, Derek said quietly. Where's your father, Vanessa? I asked. She wouldn't meet my eyes. We're not speaking to him anymore. After your lawyer exposed what he did to his other relatives, his own family cut him off, Derek said. He stole from his sister, too. Karma, Beth muttered. Mrs. Harrison, I want to apologize, Vanessa began, her voice trembling. I let my father manipulate me, and I manipulated Derek, and we hurt you terribly. You tried to steal from me, I corrected. Let's be clear. Derek's eyes filled with tears. Mom, I'm so sorry. You've been nothing but generous. You helped with our down payment, you babysit the kids, and I... You shoved me out of a chair at Christmas, I said flatly, for a man plotting to rob me. I know, and I hate myself for it. He was crying now. Please, Mom, I'll do anything to make this right. Patricia slid a document across the table. This is the revised will. Derek, you've been removed entirely. The lake house goes to Beth. The investment portfolio is split between Beth and the grandchildren in a trust. You get nothing. Vanessa gasped. Nothing? You wanted my assets, I said calmly. You schemed to take them. Now you'll never have them. What about the kids? Derek asked desperately. Your grandchildren. They'll be fine, Beth said coldly. The trust is generous, but you don't control it. Mom, please, Derek begged. I made a terrible mistake, but I'm your son. Doesn't that mean anything? You stopped being my son when you put your hands on me, I replied. Patricia pulled out another document. The restraining order against Robert is permanent. If he comes within 500 feet of Mrs. Harrison, he'll be arrested. He won't, Vanessa said quickly. We told him if he contacts us again, we'll file charges. How noble, I said dryly. Derek leaned forward. Mom, I'll spend the rest of my life making this up to you. Please, just give me a chance. A chance to what? Steal from me more successfully next time? No, I swear. Your promises mean nothing anymore. I stood up. This meeting is over. Wait, Vanessa grabbed my arm. I jerked away. Don't touch me. We'll lose our house, she whispered. We were counting on your help, and now... Now you'll figure it out yourselves, I finished. Like adults. Beth stood beside me. You're not welcome at family events anymore. Not holidays, not birthdays, nothing. Beth, please, Derek begged. You have to understand. I understand. You're a greedy coward, Beth snapped. Mom's coming to live near me in Colorado. Derek's face went white. You're leaving? I'm leaving you, I clarified. Beth and I are moving forward. You're in the past. Patricia gathered her documents. If you contest the will, we'll release the recordings publicly. Your friends, neighbors, employer, everyone will know what you tried to do. You wouldn't, Vanessa breathed. Try me, I said. Derek was sobbing. Mom, I love you. Please don't do this. I'll change, I swear.
You should go to therapy, I agreed. But not for me. For yourself. This is so unfair, Vanessa shouted. We made one mistake. You made a choice, Beth corrected. Multiple choices. You chose greed over love. Now live with it. I walked to the door. Derek, do you remember what your father used to say? He looked up, tear-stained. Which thing? Respect is earned, but disrespect is remembered forever. I smiled sadly. I'll remember Christmas dinner for the rest of my life. I'm so sorry, Derek whispered. I believe you are, but sorry doesn't undo betrayal. I opened the door. Goodbye, Derek. Mom, wait! Patricia blocked his path. The meeting is over. Leave, or I'll call security. I walked out with Beth's arm around me. Behind me, Vanessa's voice was sharp with panic. What are we going to do? We can't afford the house payment. I don't know, Derek replied broken. Patricia's voice was firm. That's not Mrs. Harrison's problem anymore. You both need to leave. Now. In the parking lot, Beth hugged me tight. You okay, Mom? I'm better than okay, I said honestly. I'm free. Justice isn't always about revenge. Sometimes it's about protecting yourself from people who would hurt you, even when those people are family. I didn't need Derek to suffer. I just needed him to have no power over me anymore. Have you ever had to cut off a family member who betrayed you? Sometimes the hardest thing is realizing that blood doesn't mean loyalty. Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.